You're watching the KOAM Morning News on Fox 14.
Coming up, an early Wednesday morning car crash takes the life of a school superintendent on the first day of school.
Also, the White House moves to unburden millions of Americans of their student loan debt, but critics say the move only shifts the weight to others. We want to know what you think.
And take a look at this rain map. We are looking at rain chances incoming by this weekend. We're going to talk about all of that and some warmer weather coming up.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Thanks for joining us for the KOAM Morning News on Fox 14. I'm Tanya Bach. An early morning head-on crash takes the life of a school superintendent on the first day of school. Shortly after 8 a.m. yesterday, authorities responded to the scene of a fatal crash on Route T, 2 miles southwest of Bolivar, Missouri. Killed in the crash, the superintendent of Dadeville Schools, 48-year-old Matthew Bushy of Bolivar. A 17-year-old was also in the vehicle and was transported with serious injuries to a Springfield, Missouri hospital. Missouri State Highway Patrol says a Ford F-150 crossed the center line and struck the Bushy vehicle head-on. Pickup was driven by a 16-year-old male from Bolivar. His name is not being released. In a statement on their website, the Dadeville School District shared the news of Bushy's passing. You can read that full statement from Dadeville School District on our website at KOAMnewsnow.com. Well, President Biden unveils a plan aimed at reducing America's ballooning student loan debt, which he says is making it harder for people to reach the middle class. Under the long-awaited forgiveness plan, the Biden administration says more than 40 million Americans could see their student loan debt lowered. As Bradley Blackburn explains, it's an announcement that's received with both cheers and harsh criticism.
Kevin Rice welcomed President Biden's student loan debt forgiveness plan, even if it doesn't erase all the money owed for his daughter Cameron's college degree.
I was hoping that it would be more than $10,000, but hey, I'll take what, that they give us.
All this means people can finally crawl out from under that mountain of debt.
The president's announcement Wednesday delivers on his campaign promise by erasing $10,000 in federal student loan debt for those with annual incomes below $125,000 or couples earning less than $250,000. The plan would cancel an additional $10,000 for those who received Pell Grants.
Both of these targeted actions are for families who need it the most.
I've racked up a lot of debt, and it would be a huge financial blessing to get rid of at least even a little bit of that.
My parents were able to get by working throughout college and pay for it themselves, but I can't do that on my own.
Republicans denounced the plan as an insult to those who have repaid their debt.
I think fundamentally, when we borrow money, we ought to pay it back.
Some parents also expressed opposition.
I just put 2 kids through college. I saved my whole life. Looking for a government handout wasn't part of my family heritage, and it's not part of what I think we should be doing in America today.
Some question whether the president has the authority to forgive student debt, raising the prospect of legal challenges down the road. Bradley Blackburn, CBS News.
It's unclear exactly how much the move will cost the federal government, though one estimate has it as high as $300 billion. President Biden also extended a pause on federal student loan payments, saying it was the final time he'd do that. Now the pause is set to run through the end of the year, with repayments starting in January. Our question: do you agree with wiping out student loan debt? Yes or no? You can go to our Facebook discussion as well. We want to hear from you. KOAMnewsnow.com/vote KOAM on our app or Facebook, or you can check out our QR code as well. PSU and Paraguay program has a new director, Angela Moots, who served as the university's study abroad coordinator and brings a lot of traveling experience to the program. The 15-year-old program has students from Paraguay come finish their college degree in Pittsburgh, and she encourages students on campus to take a trip abroad to learn about the different cultures. According to Moots, the experience traveling brings can help people later on in their lives.
No matter what you're going to be doing in the future, you're always going to be interacting with people who have other beliefs and opinions, so it's a really great skill to have.
Pittsburgh State University currently has 8 students from Paraguay on campus. They also have 13 students in Paraguay taking general education classes who will attend PSU later on. And while some students are celebrating student loan forgiveness, others are celebrating the start of the new school year. On Wednesday, Crowder College hosted its annual cookout on the quad. Not only is there good food, but the event also helps students connect with local businesses. Next week, Crowder College will host its Bargain Bonanza at the Student Center.
Always down for some good food. Always down for good food.
I wonder what's in the Bargain Bonanza. That sounds exciting, too.
Whoa! There are so many Tanyas right now. But can you really, truly ever have too much Tanya?
Yes. Even myself, I can have too much of myself.
I mean, I don't think that you can have too much Tanya, but you know, it's what it is. See, now this is a
I don't think that's ever happened on air before. That was fun.
That was. This is a more disappointing image because now you've got me instead of multiple Tanyas. But that's all right.
I had to do a double take to see that. Sorry, I had to do it.
You have an identical twin in another studio that looks just like this one. That's what's going on.
What's happening on this date in weather history, Chris?
So we finally broke away from hurricanes as the theme, as it's been for about 2 weeks now. Instead, we have something else to talk about. Back in 1814, one of these, a tornado hit Washington, D.C. during the burning of the Capitol, and it actually ended up killing invading British soldiers. It was a very strange noise that came from outside. It was you? It sounded like it came from the hall.
I said what, but it sounded echoey.
It was it scared me.
What?
Okay, yeah, it was a little bit strange. Okay, Skywatch Storm Tracker has nothing locally, but we are watching this. This is our next weather maker. Doesn't look like much yet, but it is going to bring us some showers and thunderstorms in the weekend. Sunny skies right now as the sun rises at 7th and Range Line. 63 to start the day in Joplin. Pretty good start to the day. You got 65 Yates Center and Chanute, 62 in Parsons and Pittsburgh, 63 in Carthage and Lamar. A good start to the day overall. It's going to be hot today, though, compared to what we've seen, but this is a seasonable high. 92 for an afternoon high under mostly sunny skies. 85 by noon, 91 by 5, and 85 by 8 this evening. We stay clear as we head into the night with a low dropping back to 64, 71 at 11, 68 by 2 a.m., and getting to that overnight low early tomorrow morning. We are still watching the scattered thunderstorm chances both Saturday and Sunday. 92 on Saturday, 93 on Sunday. These are scattered, but you still want to keep an eye to the sky if you've got any weekend plans. You can see them. They start the day Saturday, then we just get under cloudy skies on Saturday, and then as we head into Sunday, we get a few more widespread scattered storms. And by the time we reach Monday and Tuesday, we have a good collection of thunderstorms across the area, and they're going to bring us some much needed rain. As I've mentioned, this map starts out slow, but once it starts calculating all those storm chances coming in, we could be looking upwards of 1 inch to maybe even 2 inches of rain in some areas, which is rain that is much needed. And the 7-day forecast shows us 96 tomorrow under sunny skies. Rain builds in and it holds with us all the way through the middle of next week, keeping temperatures reasonable for this time of year and even bringing them back down by Wednesday to 88. So not bad at all.
Well, up next, Chef Anthony takes some time off from his busy school schedule to show us how to make some ooey gooey chocolate chip cookies.
And later, we'll introduce you to a man who implants a Tesla key in his hand. We're not making this up. Only Jeannie Moose could give us a hand with this driving story.
Welcome back. We've got Chef Anthony in the studio again this morning, and we whipped up some cookie dough during our 6 o'clock show, so I'm excited to find out what we're going to do with it.
Okay, so we're going to talk about all the different types of cookies that you can make with the chocolate chip cookie dough we made in the last one. So we have our cookie dough here, and you can see it's so absolutely beautiful the way that the cookies are just making me hungry.
Yes,
so,
and I promise I have not ate that much of it.
I had to make another batch.
It's not very, he did make another batch, but it's not very healthy to eat raw cookie dough. And why is that?
Because it has raw egg in it.
Can you get away with just like 1 or 2 bites though? You don't want to promote that.
I don't want to promote that, but
if you're going to make it to eat it, then leave the eggs out.
Yeah, some of the best memories that we have growing up for most of us is making chocolate chip cookies and eating off the paddle in the mixer, or eating off the spoon, or sneaking a little bite while you're making the cookies. We all have that memory. So moderation and be wise about it. If you trust where your eggs come
make it
from.
like a triple batch because, you know, that way I'd guarantee to get enough cookies out of it.
1 cookie on the pan, 2 cookies for you.
But you had to share with your siblings? Yeah.
No.
Chocolate chip cookies, this is like such a memorable dish for me because this is what my mom taught me how to make. It's the first thing that I ever had the responsibility of using the oven for on my own. Like I was allowed to use the oven when they were all outside doing something. I could use the oven to make cookies.
Oh, yeah.
That was like at a very young age I was able to do that because I was responsible. Just couldn't eat all the dough.
Okay.
And we had a rule too, and I don't know how we followed it as kids. Like it was the best after school treat, but you were only allowed 2 a day, 2 cookies a day. How hard was that for a kid? Like I can't do that as an adult.
Okay, when we did freshman orientation, we had chocolate chip cookies out. I had 3 students who were passing out the chocolate chip cookies, and it was like 1 for the students, 2 for me.
Yes.
1 for the students, 2 for them.
Exactly.
So the recipe's up, 375 degrees, 8 to 10 minutes depending upon the size of your cookie and what you make. But we're going to talk about icebox cookies, drop cookies, and everybody's favorite at the mall, sheet cookies.
Okay.
So we're going to start with a drop cookie. Anytime that you're baking, they make these wonderful pans specifically for like cookies. They have an air pocket in the back, helps get the bottom all nice and crispy without them burning. And these are wonderful. And these pans are about $6 a piece.
Yeah.
So they're not a whole lot to spend, but they're great. Plus the lip, you can hold it, and when you go to take the cookies, come out of the oven, and you have your paper down, you put this over your cooling rack and just
nice.
Right onto your cooling rack. As soon as they come out of the oven and they immediately start cooling and not continue to cook.
Do you always use wax paper when you do it?
I always use parchment paper on it. One, it helps keep my cookie my cookie sheet a little easier to clean, and this is so nice to get them off there with.
Okay.
So what I always do is I specifically use Baker's Joy when I make cookies because the spray itself has a little bit of flour in it and helps keep things from sticking.
Okay.
So just a little spray on the pan, and then you put your parchment paper down and give it a press, and your parchment paper is not going to fall off.
Until it's time.
Until it's time, and then it slides off really nice and easy. And then give your paper a nice cover, and you're good to go. So I always use a scoop measurer, and that's just about what I'm looking for. About a silver dollar. And then just right on there.
We do, I do 2 spoons.
A lot of people do.
One to scoop, one to scoop and slide, scoop and slide.
That's a great way to do it, but I kind of like the uniformity that I get by using my scoop, because usually when I'm doing cookies, I'm making lots of cookies.
Right.
So, but I'll do them just like that, and then give them a little press, or if it's for me, I don't press them at all because I like how they get thick in the middle and crispy around the edge.
Okay.
That's my personal favorite. So it just all depends on what you like. But that's the drop cookie. And then we have the icebox cookie. And we're all familiar with these, we just don't know it by that name. We're going to take out some of our cookie dough, put it right onto a piece of parchment paper, and we're going to roll it.
This is like the store-bought cookie dough.
Exactly.
You slice it off, I get it.
So that when you make this with the kids, and if you have one that you trust to use the oven, then you can make this up and roll it up, twist off the ends, and then put this right into the refrigerator. You get about 10 days out of here. And then when they come home from school, you can turn the oven on, slice off a couple of cookies,
freshly baked cookies,
stick them in the oven, and have fresh baked cookies every day after school.
Great.
So when you go through the food court at the mall, what's your favorite place to stop?
I'm sure we're leaning towards the cookies here.
Yeah, the cookie shop. So everybody loves those great big cookies that they do, that they tell you, oh yeah, get these for your birthday. If you have a pizza pan with a small lip around the edge, all you need to do is take your cookie dough, this exact recipe, put it right into the middle, and then spread it out evenly.
Just like pizza dough. How thick do you want it?
It depends. I put it right, depending upon how thick my pizza pan is, dictates how thick it is. I bring it right up to the edge of the pizza pan and uniform across the board.
Okay.
And I always put a piece of parchment paper over the top. It helps cut down on sticking to your roller, to your hand, or anything else. But you can see how easy
So what do
it
you call
spreads
these
out.
type of
These are sheet cookies.
sheet cookies?
So these are the 3 most common, most popular cookie styles out there.
So if you were making a cookie cake, I guess?
Yeah. If you wanted to make that cookie cake for your child's birthday party, because that's what they
You can't
want.
send them to school homemade anymore, unfortunately.
Unfortunately
Prove
not.
that the store made them for you.
So,
If you're doing a party at your house for your kid, there you go.
yeah, there you
Yeah.
go. But spread it out,
Okay.
peel it right off, and the same thing again, 375 degrees right into the oven, and
You don't cook it with the parchment on the top?
no, I don't leave it on the top because we want that air to circulate on the top. It helps crystallize that sugar.
Same amount of cooking time and everything?
It varies a little bit depending upon, of course, the size of your cookie. You'll just have to watch it. So this one like this will take about 15 minutes.
Okay.
Depends on the pizza pan that you have at home.
Yeah, true that. Okay.
So
All right, so we have different varieties of cookies.
different varieties of cookies, and my favorite, of course, the drop cookie is one of my favorites. This is what we're doing. See, my baking and pastry class, which is going on, they're going to make all 3 of these tomorrow.
Nice.
Well, they're going to start today, then they're going to finish tomorrow.
When we come back, we've started, and when we come back, we're going to finish with our finished product and try out some of your drop cookies.
Oh yes, they're so good.
Looking forward to that. We'll be right back.
Some simple activities that can help seniors live longer, and a look at the big jump in marijuana use. Trinity Chavez has some of the day's top health stories.
New research finds more and more people are using recreational cannabis. The latest data shows a 20% increase in the 19 states that allow recreational use. Cannabis was first legalized in 2014, and now over 141 million Americans can use it legally. Medical experts caution it is an addictive drug and can have negative health outcomes. Mandated headgear may lower the risk of concussion for high school girls playing lacrosse. That's according to new data that shows fewer concussions in states where headgear is required. Male lacrosse players already wear helmets. And a new study at the National Cancer Institute confirms exercise can help seniors live longer. Researchers say older adults who participate weekly in leisure activities like walking, jogging, and swimming can lower the risk of death from any cause. That's a look at some of the day's top health stories. Trinity Chavez, CBS News, New York.
Now for a look at some of the weather headlines of the day. It's going to be pretty nice but hot today compared to what we've seen, but some seasonable temperatures in store. Looking nice and clear at 7th and Range Line as people get on their way to work, school, and anywhere else they may be going today. 63 in Joplin under those clear skies, and we're still sitting in the 60s across the board. We've got Anderson as the cool spot at 60, 61 Grove, 62 Miami, 61 in Parsons, and 64 in Nevada. Not a bad start to the day at all. As mentioned, though, it's going to be hot compared to what we've seen. We're looking at an afternoon high of 92. Get there gradually through the day, 85 by noon, 91 by 5. We'll be settling back down to 85 by 8 tonight. As the sun goes down, temperatures will drop, 71 by 11, 68 by 2, and an overnight low of 64 under clear skies. Watching scattered thunderstorm chances building in this weekend, Saturday and Sunday. Now, they'll be scattered both Saturday and Sunday, but as we take a look at the future track, you'll see we got better chances on Sunday for some of these scattered storms. So this is Saturday morning. See some of the scattered storms, then we're left with cloudy skies. Then we see more scattered storms build in through Sunday and into Sunday evening. And then as we head into Monday and Tuesday, much more widespread shower and thunderstorm activity across the area, which we do need. And we need this rain. And this is the kind of rain that it's going to dump on us over the next several days. We're talking anywhere from a half an inch to maybe even an inch and a half in some locations thanks to all this rain. But the good news is it's not all going to fall at once. So as we head into tomorrow, 96 for an afternoon high under sunny skies. Then the rain chances build in and they stick with us all the way through Wednesday. We've got more of the KOAM Morning News on Fox 14 right after this.
Starts now.
Welcome back to the KOAM Morning News on Fox 14. It's currently 7:31. Let's take a look at today's top stories. While some students celebrate student loan forgiveness, others are celebrating the start of the new school year. On Wednesday, Crowder College hosted its annual cookout on the quad. And not only was there good food, but the event also helped students connect with local businesses.
Excited, and we want to make sure they understand all the things that we have to offer, and sometimes you got to bring it to them in a way where they can't miss it. So out here on a beautiful sunny day, this is a great opportunity for our students to see what we have to offer.
Next week, Crowder College will host its Bargain Bonanza at the Student Center. The city of Joplin holds a public meeting to discuss a property tax levy in the city. The council approved an ordinance that includes a tax levy on the Joplin Public Library.
Property tax has been authorized by the voters already. This is not a new tax. So cities, school districts, they have to reset their property tax levy every year using this calculation by the state auditor's office.
Joplin says the city property tax represents a very small portion of the overall property tax liability for the citizens of Joplin. Well, more bike trails could be in Neosho, Missouri. The Flower Box City right now has about 8.5 miles of bike trails put in about 3 years ago. Now there are plans to add 2 miles. City's park supervisor says the bike trails attract people from as far as Northwest Arkansas and Springfield.
There is a little bit for everybody with our bike trails, and that was the goal, is to fix it where people could come in and just ride, walk. You can even walk part of the bike trails. As long as you're not on the downhill trails, you're good.
Additions to the current bike trails depend on Neosho City Council's approval. Fair warning, once you hear this, you cannot unhear it, and it's a little terrifying. The sound of a black hole. All right, NASA shared this 34-second clip of the Perseus galaxy cluster, which is about 240 million light years away from Earth. Scientists say the black hole sends out pressure waves that cause ripples in the hot gas, which can be translated into a note. To be clear, though, the actual note is one humans can't hear. It's about 57 octaves below middle C. The folks at NASA say they shifted the note so we could hear it, amplified it, and then mixed it with other data that they have about black holes. Talk about a perfect addition to your Halloween playlist.
That was pretty terrifying.
Don't get sucked into that, Chris.
I'm a little close to it as we speak.
Try to pull yourself away.
That was
Focus on the weather.
That was
not
a
the black
scary
hole.
sound. I'm going to back away from that thing. That was pretty terrifying. I'll be honest. That makes space horrifying. It's Carl Urban, who played Dr. McCoy in the new Star Trek set of movies. In the first one, he said space is a disease wrapped in darkness and silence. Unfortunately, it appears it is not wrapped in silence.
Oh, it may sound silent to us because we can't hear it.
That's true. That's true. We can't hear it, but nonetheless, I mean,
woo!
I'm starting to feel his sentiments on that space is a disease wrapped in darkness and silence. It's a little terrifying out there, so I'll let Captain Kirk and everybody else explore those strange new worlds.
Stay away from the black hole.
Yeah, don't go near them. That's not a good thing. No black holes in our forecast, thankfully. I mean, take a look. I don't see any in the sky, so that's definitely a plus. The only thing we have is clear skies, and it's 63 in Joplin right now, so a good start to the day. We got 60s across the board, 62 for Donia, 63 Pittsburgh, and 64 in Carthage. As we go through the day, a little bit hotter than what we have seen, but seasonable. 92 for an afternoon high, gradually getting there under sunny skies. We're going to be at 71 by 11, 68 by 2, heading for an overnight low of 64 under clear skies, and then watching scattered thunderstorm chances this weekend. And once they take hold this weekend, they do not let go. They'll be with us all the way through Wednesday. 92, excuse me, I had some of Chef Anthony's cookies and they were delicious. 92 on Saturday, 93 on Sunday, now they're stuck somewhere. We got more of the KOAM Morning News on Fox 14 right after this. It's time to honor today's four-state hero, Randall Nelson. Specialist Nelson served in the Army from 1967 to 1968. He served in Vietnam. He earned several medals during his service. A native of Iola, we thank you, today's four-state hero, Randall Nelson. Have you ever lost something really important at the beach? If so, your personal hero might be someone like New Hampshire's Lou Askey. He makes a hobby out of searching for valuable items others have lost to the ocean and sand. And for one woman who lost a wedding ring, Askey was a godsend. Rachel Holt reports.
Rain or shine, day or night, Lou Askey suits up, metal detector in hand. Today, he's on a mission to find a lost ring on the beach in Marshfield.
We've all been there. We lost something special to us, and we want it back. It's a horrible feeling.
It's a feeling that Francesca Teal knows well.
It's right here, and it's on very secure now.
After her wedding ring fell in the ocean in Hampton, New Hampshire earlier this month.
Just had to let myself say, like, all right, I'm never going to find it.
Lou saw her plea on Facebook, and after 3 separate trips, found it 8 days later.
I took a picture of the ring, and I sent it to Francesca and said, please tell me this is the ring so I can finally get off this beach.
I freaked out. Like, I think I jumped up and I was like, it's it, he's got it.
Not only is this someone's wedding ring, but this also used to be her great grandmother's ring with sentimental value attached to it. So how did it feel to be able to return that?
That was pretty much what motivated me to do that third and final trip, to give it back. The ocean has plenty of rings. This one doesn't belong in the ocean.
Lou got his metal detector as a gift for Father's Day 5 years ago. Since then, he's been hooked on the hobby and very successful, finding dozens of rings and other items in the process.
Found a lot of rings, but about a dozen owners that we matched them up to. Someone that lost something that's precious to them, they need it back. So that's the motivation.
So, taking a look, have you ever lost anything like that? Man, I tell you, my dad had a metal detector, and the only thing I ever found in my parents' backyard were pop can tabs. I never found anything cool. But there are some really cool things that can be found with a metal detector, and it's a good hobby, and it's a good, clean, safe hobby, as long as you're not digging up somebody else's yard. Don't do that. Right now, it's perfect weather for going out and doing some metal detecting because it is sunny, it is nice, it is 63 in Joplin, and all of us are sitting in the 60s under these fair skies. Starting to warm up, though, so we've got Yates Center 65, 67 in Fort Scott, 64 Carthage, and still a little cooler down here. Anderson and Jay both at 60 degrees this morning. As we go through the day, temperatures are going to warm up. They're going to be hot, but they're going to be seasonable. They're just hot compared to what August has kind of spoiled us with. 92 for an afternoon high, gradually getting there under sunny skies. As we go into the evening, we're talking about 71 degrees by 11 o'clock, 68 by 2 a.m., heading for an overnight low of 64 under clear skies. We've been talking about scattered thunderstorm chances both Saturday and Sunday, so you need to keep an eye to the sky because these are still scattered. It's going to be mostly cloudy skies otherwise. Let's take a look. Saturday morning, there they are. They kind of clear out. And these temperatures, I believe, are a little bit off. I don't think we're going to get as hot as this thing thinks it is, but I think it's right about the rain. Then we see them return Saturday night and into Sunday. And Sunday, they're a bit more persistent, and there's a bit more of them. And then by the time we start the next work week, we've got a cold front coming in that's going to bring us more widespread shower and thunderstorm chances Monday, Tuesday, and even into Wednesday, which we can see on the 7-day. So tomorrow, we can't forget Friday, sunny, hot, 96. 96 is going to be a bit toasty. Once the rain builds in, it takes hold and keeps with us through at least Wednesday of next week, but it keeps the temperatures pretty decent with overnight lows hovering right around 70. More of the KOAM Morning News right after this.
Consumer Watch this morning, vinyl is making a comeback, and a British company says it's created the world's first bioplastic record to help musicians sell their music in a greener way. Some American artists are backing the new and cleaner vibe, as Ian Lee reports.
In the music industry, old is still gold. With vinyl, the needle's been dropping for generations, so why mess with it?
It's one of the dirty secrets in the music industry.
It turns out making vinyl is incredibly toxic.
We know it's PVC, so there's chlorine gases, there's also dioxins.
That led Mark Carey on a 4-year journey to reinvent the record, turning black vinyl green.
I want sustainable products in a 21st century environment, so I had to form a new company and do it myself.
Evolution Music is turning the tables, testing an eco-friendly secret recipe, including sugar and starches, spinning out records they hope one day will become an industry standard. And that's music to artists' ears.
I'm listening for any pops, crackles, surface noise, and that's very good.
Producer Rob Cass believes the sound rivals vinyl.
We believe the quality is extremely high, just about as high as vinyl. We may be 95%.
Blood Records founder Craig Evans says his jaw dropped when he heard the bioplastic record.
Well, the first time that I heard one of those test pressings, I couldn't believe what I was listening to was basically made of bioplastic and plant waste. It's incredible.
REM's Michael Stipe and pioneering American artist B.D. Wolf are among the musicians getting into the groove.
And the artists are increasingly shouting out the labels that we need to be more environmentally aware.
Raising their voices to flip the industry toward a greener future. Ian Lee, CBS News, London.
Well, vinyl sales in the U.S. topped $1 billion last year, first since the mid-1980s. Evolution Music also says when mass-produced, their bioplastic records will cost about the same as vinyl. Now, I did own one vinyl record that was plastic in my youth, and it was by the artist Aqua, and the song Barbie Girl. Came with the toy. We'll be right back with more after this, but first let's take a look at the market prices before the opening bell. Are you the type who has trouble keeping track of your car keys?
I don't, but I know some people who do. So here's the thing. A Michigan man, he solved that problem by turning himself into a key.
Oh, Jeannie Moose reports.
Why worry about losing your car keys when you can take matters into your own hands, literally? With a chip implanted in your hand at a tattoo and piercing parlor.
You can't lose your hand, so you'll always have a way of getting in your car.
Brandon Delali had a local anesthetic injected, then the chip inserted. A few days later, his hand hardly sore. He was hovering over the door pillar to open his Tesla. Though he's been mocked, Tesla bros will single-handedly ruin civilization. Brandon says he's no Elon Musk groupie, but rather...
I'm a huge tech nerd. I work in technology.
What he really wants is for the chip to be updated so the implant will work for credit cards. But till that's possible, he'll settle for starting his Tesla by holding his hand over the console.
I'm getting a lot of comments saying, well, what happens if somebody comes after you and chops off your hand?
Brandon already had a chip implanted in his other hand that allows him to unlock the door to his home. It also holds his contact and medical information, such as COVID vaccinations. It glows green, so you know the phone is reading the chip. Can you show me your lump?
It's hard to see, but you can kind of see part of it kind of pop up on the end right there.
Barely a bump, though he's taking his lumps online. But they don't get to say with a wave of the hand.
Open, O sesame! Yes, open, O sesame.
Jeannie Moose, CNN, New York.
So did his Tesla come with a spare, or what happens when he wants to let someone borrow his car?
He probably doesn't let anyone borrow. I mean, if he's going this far to implant chips into his hands, he probably doesn't let anybody borrow anything.
And that would, yeah.
What happens if he passes away? And they need to sell the car or something like that?
And then he'll get it taken out. Just like that.
That sounds painful and unpleasant. Oh, goodness, yeah, I would not.
If he passes away, it wouldn't be painful then.
Excellent point.
Yeah.
Excellent point.
There you go.
Whatever. Either way, it doesn't sound like a good idea. But you know what does kind of sound like a good idea? So when I back this thing up here, just like that, there we go. And I can start from the beginning. Hey, don't make faces at me. I'm talking about backing up the weather computer. I don't know what you're thinking, but I'm talking about the faces that she's making are fantastic. Okay, anyway, 7th and range line looks really good. Temperature's looking good too. 63 in Joplin. We've got 60s around the area. 65 Yates Center and Chanute and Columbus. 64 Carthage. 66 in Lamar and in Nevada. It's going to be a hot one today compared to what we've seen, but still nice. Mostly sunny skies. 85 by noon, 91 at 5. 92 is our ultimate afternoon high. Clear skies stick around tonight. We're going to be 71 by 11, 68 by 2, and 64 for an overnight low. Tracking scattered thunderstorm chances both Saturday and Sunday. 92 Saturday, 93 on Sunday, and you can see those here. We start the day Saturday morning, Scattered storms, then cloud cover, then more storms build in Sunday. As we head into Monday and Tuesday, the storm activity really does start to pick up and makes it, it just brings us some much needed rainfall, which you can see here real quick on this map. We're anywhere from about a ½ inch to an inch of rain. We've got more of the KOAM morning news and rainfall right after this.
Welcome back to the KOAM morning news on Fox 14. Here's what's happening today. The Uvalde School District has fired Police Chief Pete Arendando. Arendando faced criticism since the May 24th massacre at Robb Elementary School. Officers armed with rifles waited in a school hallway for more than an hour while the gunman carried out the shooting, killing 19 students and 2 teachers. Los Angeles County must pay $16 million to Kobe Bryant's widow, Vanessa, for emotional distress caused by deputies and firefighters sharing photos of the 2020 helicopter crash that killed the NBA star, the couple's daughter, Gianna, and 7 others. The jury agreed with Bryant that the pictures violated her constitutional right to privacy. Bryant's co-plaintiff, who lost his wife and daughter, was awarded $15 million. President Biden is offering relief for millions of Americans with student loans. The president unveiled a student loan forgiveness plan that forgives $10,000 in federal loans for anyone making below $125,000 a year and $20,000 for those with Pell Grants for low-income students. Anyone with federal undergraduate loans will have payments capped at 5% of their monthly income.
It's going to be a hot one today compared to what we've seen. 92 is the afternoon high, gradually getting there under mostly sunny skies. We'll be at 71 come 11 o'clock tonight, 68 by 2 a.m., heading for an overnight low of 64 under clear skies. Still watching scattered shower and thunderstorm chances Saturday and Sunday. 92 Saturday, 93 on Sunday. We're heading for a high of 96 under sunny skies on Friday, so not a bad way to wrap up the week, albeit a bit hot. And once those rain chances settle in this weekend, they hang out with us all the way through at least the middle of next week.
We've got another hippo update.
Oh boy, here we go.
All right, so you know America's favorite hippo, Fiona, became a big sister recently. Fiona was introduced to her new baby brother on Wednesday at the Cincinnati Zoo, and zookeepers are taking a cautious approach.
Now for now, Fritz and Fiona are only able to see and smell each other from separate spaces of their indoor habitat, while mom, Bibi, supervises closely. So far, zookeepers say their interaction has been only positive, so that's a good thing. My sister and I, we had mostly positive interactions, but every so often our moms had to separate us where we could only, see or smell each other.
Well, we don't want Fiona to get jealous.
We don't.
Or decide to open her mouth and Fritz not realize that he can't just walk in there and not get ate.
Yeah, she might eat him.
Remember that cute video of Fritz just walking in?
Yeah, that was pretty cool. Thanks for letting us put the good in your morning. We're back at noon.
Have a great morning and an even better day.